After a long day of riding, I was finally able to sit in front of a small fire for warmth, sipping on a hot chocolate while the haunting call of the loons sounded off in the distance. The constant flicker of flames danced in front of me, lulling me into a trance until I could fight sleep no longer.
Or so I imagine that's how this scene would play out. It's February. Obviously I'm not camping, but I think you're here because of the title. And I guess I should talk about it. Now, if you remember my video from my first bikepacking trip up in the Muskoka backcountry, you'll know that I borrowed all of the bags to actually get out and do that trip. So now that I've got this new addiction, I realize that I can't go asking for bags every time I want to do a trip. And they're not cheap. So I've started researching a bunch of different companies, and that's when I came across Arkell. Arkell caught my attention for a few different reasons. First and foremost, they're Canadian. I've been doing my best throughout the pandemic to actually support a lot of Canadian brands and companies to get them through this super tough time and just support them. I'm a small business owner as well, and I know it's tough times. But being Canadian isn't enough. The bags needed to have a high quality so that they can withstand the rigors and beat down of multi-bikepacking trips throughout the years. So I reached out to Arkell to see if they wanted to partner up on a documentary project about the Cannonball 300. The Cannonball 300 is a fairly easy beginner bikepacking trip that isn't so far out of the urban city centers that you can't just stop at Subway and grab some food. So it's great for beginners, and it's mostly on rail trail, country road, and some road. So when I told Eve, the customer service and social media specialist over at Arkell, he said that that's the exact demographic of people that they're looking for. They want to attract more people from all walks of life into bikepacking, and this type of route is something that can really appeal to anyone. So after telling Eve a little bit about the project, some of the other ideas I had for bikepacking this year, he suggested 3 bags for me. That was the Roll Packer 15, the Seat Packer 15, and the Arkell Frame Bag in the medium size. So I guess before I lose you guys of boredom, I'm gonna pop this guy open and see what these guys actually look like and get them on the bike. I am stoked. This camping chair is super comfy, but also slightly low. And I also need to find a knife. That's not a knife. All right, so most of the trips I'll be doing this year, I won't be doing crazy backcountry riding. I want to focus on adventures that I can go on out my back door. So that's really how I got Arkell to partner with me on this project, because that's the kind of adventure that they want to really showcase as well. I mean, I am fully on board for doing more extreme backcountry stuff where there's limited rescue if you get a flat tire out in the middle of nowhere. But I think this year and the last couple of years, it's been really important to show that you can go on adventures out your back door. So no matter where you are, just remember, just gotta think outside the box and have some fun with it. Whew. Right up top here is the frame bag. So obviously it's a half bag, so you can still run your water bottles underneath. Fully waterproof with sailcloth. This stuff is super durable. If you've seen me using the Moment camera bag, exact same material, and yeah, this is gonna be nice. Next up, we've got the Seat Packer 15 right here. The really cool thing with the Arkell bags, let's bring you guys back up here a little bit. So the really sweet thing with the Arkell bags is that they actually come with a frame. So the frame right here slides into this little cloth section, and what that does is basically eliminates any bag wag. Now, I didn't experience a ton of that on the other bag, the borrowed bag that I had last year, but I can see it being an issue, and it's really nice that this one here actually supports the bag and stops it from wagging back and forth if you don't have it completely cinched down, because it is just locked into the slot right here. So that's the Seat Packer right there. And then finally, we've got the Roll Packer up front. All right. Woo. This is gonna be fun. So I guess next up, we just have to go ahead and get it on the bike. All right, so I've got my trusty 2020 Salsa Warbird here, and before we even start putting any bags on the bike, you want to make sure you protect your investment in your bike. So to do that, you're going to want to use any kind of helicopter tape or ride wrap or some kind of thing that's a tape that's going to protect your bike while also not leaving a sticky, gross residue. So I'll leave a link in the description below as to how you can actually get some helicopter tape off of Amazon. It's super easy to apply. It took me about a half hour, 45 minutes to get all the different points and custom cuts that I made to protect my bag from my bike from the last set of bags that I was using. These bags do have different mounting points, so I will have to make some adjustments there, but it is very easy to do, and it's kind of therapeutic. You just kind of sit there, soap it up, and kind of find the right positions. It's kind of a fun thing to do. So right now we're gonna do a dry run and get all these bags mounted up so we know what mounting points we'll actually want to get that helicopter tape covering. So first up, we'll start with the Arkell Frame Bag, and the nice thing is that they all use this cam buckle system. Still have the tag on this guy, but they are super easy to use. So the first one I'll start with is right up at the head tube here. So we're just gonna get this strap through the cam buckle. Get it cinched up nice and snug, snap it in. The next one is gonna be right down here. Just find the cam buckle. There we go. And then finally, the rear one here, the first time that I did this, actually right now I'm gonna suggest don't tighten these down all the way because you do want your frame bag to stretch out to give you as much carry capacity as you can get. And right now I've tightened down the front too a little bit too much, so I'll have to make some adjustments there. And that's why it's really important too to actually do a couple dry runs before you take these bags out for the first time. Any type of camping trip, you wanna do a dry run, not just do it the night before or the morning of. All right, I'm gonna pause the video right there because I actually got part of the mount or install of the frame bag wrong. It actually goes over the top tube and around, not the way that I had it set up before. Same with the back here. Over the top tube, around. Make sure you wrap those parts of your bike, and back to the video. All right, so next we've got the Seat Packer 15, and it's really important with the frame. This is great because it cuts down on a bag wag, but you wanna make sure that this is right side up, which is this way right here. So there's 3 contact points here to stop any of that extra bag wag. 1 is on the seat post, 2 and 3 are actually on the seat or the saddle rails. And you just get this quick release locking system mounted right up here. And you're just gonna screw that quick release in nice and snug and then clamp it down. All right, and that's snapped in there. And then you're just taking this strap and Velcroing on just like that. So the last thing that you'll need is a 4mm, come on, will you lock on me? Oh, we're on face detect. Anyway, 4mm Allen key just to snug everything in. Make sure that these bolts are tight at the bottom, and then your rail bolts here are the ones that you would have originally loosened off so you can slide it into position. And now we're just snugging it back up. So once you get that all locked into place, you're just gonna get your seat packer, slide it over the frame like that. You're gonna lock this guy into place. Just like that, and now you're ready to load your bike up with a ton of weight, camping gear, and fun stuff. All right, so the very last step is to get the Roll Packer 15 onto the bars of this bike, and this one's probably the most time intensive, but it still shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes if you're doing it for the first time. I've done this a couple times now, and I'm probably still gonna mess it up, so magic of editing. Anyway, so the first thing that we're gonna do is actually get the rack or frame up in behind. Our wires and cabling without interfering. And we're gonna just get the straps done up here. Now if you're using a mountain bike or something, it's actually gonna be a little bit easier because drop bar cable routing is usually a little bit tighter with the bar tape. It's okay because it looks super neat and clean. Thanks, Zach. Next up, we want to get these straps through the crown of the fork. And these are going to support the weight of the bag once that's mounted on. And again, they're just using cam buckles as well. So we're just going to feed this back up and through and sash it through the little leash thing here. Super technical, the leash thing. All right, so that's through, and next up we're gonna go through and get this guy through the second. All right, make sure that's nice and tight again. Snap that in place. Get the leash out of the way there. Next step is gonna be to get this guy just slotted right up top here. We are looking pretty good so far. Now, there's one extra strap right here, and this guy is gonna go underneath. We're gonna wrap it around right to here. That's cinched down nicely. And we're just gonna fish out our final straps here if we can find them. There we go. And these straps are really important to go over the bars because these are what's gonna also support the weight of the bag. So make sure these are cinched up nice. I made the mistake the last time on my first bikepacking trip to not cinch the bag that I was using, not tighten it up enough, and it just started flopping off to one side. Go watch the video, you'll see. Anyway, we're gonna find the last strap here, which I have just buried. There we go, found it. I'm gonna strap this up as well, right there. Now it looks a little funky right now because obviously it's not full of anything, so once you get this filled up, it'll start to fill out, look a little more normal, and you're all set and ready to go. Those are all the bags. Now, if you want a bit more of an in-depth review on the bags, Russ over at Pathless Pedal did a great one on these bags. The cool thing with both this and the Roll Packer 25, which is the bigger version of this bag, which is mainly made for mountain bikes because with drop bars, you can't really fit the 25 in there. But he did a great job explaining how to mount it up front as well as mount it as a seat pack. You can actually use these front and back, but right now I've got the seat packer back there because there's the chance that we might find a little bit of single track on our Cannonball 300 route, and for sure down the road I'll do a bit more of a tougher bike packing trip that's not mountain biking, but where it gets a little bit more narrow, where you don't want to be brushing up against stuff and getting your bags ripped if they're hanging off on panniers. All right, if you've ever done the Paris to Ancaster bike race, you know exactly where that road goes. Straight down to the Powerline mudslide. It's infamous because everyone loves it and loves to hate it because, I mean, you're getting caked in mud no matter what. That's not why we're here though. I'm actually out on a ride because it's gorgeous outside. It's 19 degrees on March 10th. Wrapping up the video on the Arkell Bikepacking bags, and I just want to say a huge thank you to Arkell for supporting this next few videos on my bikepacking trips. So thanks, Arkell, and yeah, I'm just super stoked to get there and start riding. If you like this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what bikepacking trips you're actually getting out on. I would love to hear what you're doing this year. No one commented in the last one, let me know. So please let me know what trips are you guys planning this year, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Stay wild. One more thing, did I actually fool you with my gimmick on my little camping trip that I went on? It was a ton of fun to make that one. It took me 3 or 4 hours to set up and light it to look somewhat realistic, but it was a ton of fun to make. I literally just used 2 little Aputure MC lights with the fire special effect on, and then a full gelled Aputure 120D hitting the tent and my shoulder as a moonlight. It was a ton of fun. I don't know, that's just the film nerd in me, but Stay well.